Have you ever come across those projects that you know logically, I don't got the time, I don't got the energy, and I don't got the money. I should probably walk away from this one. And then you ignore all of those things and you decide to buy the stupid thing anyway? This is mine right here. 1975 Honda Goldwing. About a year ago, my son found a 77 Goldwing that he bought and started to restore. And I was going, that looks like a lot of fun. I want a project. And within the next day, I found a 75 Goldwing for $200 on Craigslist or Facebook or wherever it was. And I went and looked at it. Story is 18,000 miles, hasn't run in 35 years. The original title for it, the original title, registration was $2 to register this thing at the DMV. Hasn't run in 35 years because the original owner pulled the carbs off to rebuild them and broke one of the posts that the pin goes in for the float and decided, I'm just going to throw everything in a bucket, I'm going to put a tarp over it, and there it sat in his shed for a long, long time until I get to find it. And I said, heck, this thing would be a lot of fun. I don't want to keep it original. I mean, the 70s were a terrible era. Decided I'm going to bring this thing up, do a resto mod thing on it and see if I can make it into a bike that I'm going to enjoy. So I thought I'd show you what it's going to look like. This is my 1975 Honda Goldwing. Now, I made the mistake that every guy who's restoring a motorcycle should not make. I started working on some of the cosmetic stuff first before I even see if this thing can actually run. If you buy a bike, always see if the stupid thing's gonna fire over and run, and if you wanna waste your time with the rest of the stuff. But that ship sailed, it's already gone. First, I love this white and black. This is a rattle can spray job, by the way. This is not a professional spray job, but I wanted to kind of do a throwback to the old BMW bikes, those old classic ones that I just absolutely love. And so I just kind of did a quick paint job here. Again, it is not perfect, it is not pretty. Like, by the way, for those who don't know, on a Goldwing, the gas tank's actually under the seat here, and this is actually a little glove box. You gas fill in there. This is actually where you keep your gloves. But this is how you access air filters and carbs and everything else like that. All that stuff goes in there. I am going to keep the original gauges on it just because, again, 18,000 miles is just pretty stinking cool, but I repainted them. And then I hate that 70s big cluster look here that just looks terrible. So I built a little LED display for all the oil and temp and blinkers, and I still got to do all the wiring on it. It's still not all together yet, and I took the cluster and I lowered it down because I didn't want a tall bike. That's why I actually put these big wide beach bars on it. These big huge beach bars, kind of looks like the old 45s, the Harley 45s, and then the low profile mirrors. I'm also going to be deleting most of the buttons off of the handles here. So I redid some of that. I just got the wires kind of hanging there to test it and see if it'll fire up here. And then I'm going to be doing some relocating of those buttons. That's some of the cosmetic stuff. Oh, chopped the rear fender on this, and chopped the front fender on this. Just because those huge fenders are terrible, and those are going to get painted as well. You can see these tires are just sketchy. I don't think anyone is going to want to ride on tires that have been sitting around for 40 years. Lastly, this had a big, huge two-person seat on it. The back had a big, huge bolster around the back here for two people's butts to fit in there. And I said, I hate the look of that. So I shaved it down, and then I tried to teach myself how to reupholster motorcycle seats. The back, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. This part here, not so much. Again, it'll fit okay. The wrinkles will come out if I sit on it and, it glues down, but that is a really, really bad upholstery job. But hey, it's my first time, and it's a $200 bike, so I thought I'd give it a shot. If you also notice, I painted the final drive black here, and then I blacked out the spokes. I'm going to be doing the same to the front up there. Brand new tires to make sure that it's running good, nice and safe. I rebuilt the entire brake system, so I've rebuilt all the calipers, all the pistons, all the brake lines were filled with crystallized brake fluid. It was a mess. It was a disaster. Fuel system was absolutely janky, so I rebuilt the petcock and a new fuel filter. I actually put on a whole new tank from a donor bike that I found. Here's the carbs that needed to be rebuilt. All of them have been rebuilt completely from the ground up. Rebuild kits in there, and then mounted on there. Still waiting for the spark plugs to show up, hopefully tomorrow, and then I can fire them off. I got brand new spark plugs, wires going to the coils. Got the radiator down here that I'm going to be rebuilding or cleaning up, making sure it's flushed so that it sits right here in the front and keeps everything cool. I replaced both timing belts on this, made sure that that was all looking good. New oil filter, new oil, new coolant and all of it. I'm going to be putting on some of the bars that go around here, so that if I dump it or anything, it'll go on the skid bars. I got the big floorboards on the side. I got the big paddle shifters on the front and back here. Overall, it's a super clean bike, and to be honest, I think the looks and the styles are going to be okay once I get it working. And again, for bike number 2, it is what it is. I'm not too utterly disappointed with it. That's the bike. If you want to follow along, if you want to see how this thing turns out, consider subscribing. I guess there's a notification bell you can click on. I'm hoping to get the thing started tomorrow. The spark plug should be coming in, and then I'm going to throw up a camera and see if I can get this thing recorded as I get it started. Who knows if it's going to start? I'd be tickled if it kind of rolled over. I know I got to get the carbs synced and everything else like that, but I can't wait to hear this thing start and rumble and see if it comes to life. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be super cool. So if you want to follow along and see the other mistakes I make or the other successes I have, come along, you're invited. For everyone who I've been watching your videos and learning from them, thank you so much for putting up your content. It is amazing, and it saves me buckets and buckets and buckets of money learning from your mistakes and learning the little tips and tricks that you've done. So hopefully I might be able to pass this along to the next generation of bike builders. Anyway, I'm Paul. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.